Hi, this is Rabbi Jeremy Lawrence from the Great Synagogue in Sydney. I was asked for an Orthodox Jewish perspective on the headlined Muslim Fatwa against Christmas. Oi Gewalt. Obviously, adherents of faiths which believe they possess some revealed spiritual truth or are bound by a covenant can't be expected to actively celebrate another religion or its festivals. When I'm asked, as often happens, how I'll be celebrating Christmas, my response is that I'll wake up and do just as Jesus did. I'll get up in the morning, wash my hands, put on my tefillin, and pray to our God. Perhaps the appropriate question isn't how Jews or Muslims should celebrate Christmas, but the wider one of how people of one faith should conduct themselves in their interaction with another. Back in the Temple era, and legislated in the Talmud, there are clear bans on many forms of interaction with idolaters. We note that idolaters were people who denied a single, omnipotent, and incorporeal God, and that their practices often involved sacrifices of human beings and other rites repugnant to Jewish morality. The Talmud states that in the run-up to their festivals, we should avoid trading with the idolaters. We don't want to sell them animals which they will sacrifice to pagan gods, nor do we wish to give them a pretext to thank their divinities for their good fortune. And in that vein, we're not supposed to extend greetings to them on their festivals or present them with gifts. Maimonides elaborates that it is forbidden to send a present to a Gentile on one of his holidays unless one knows that he does not acknowledge or worship idols, and similarly that if a Gentile sends a present to a Jew on one of the Gentiles' religious holidays, the Jew should not accept it. Maimonides adds significantly, if, however, there is the possibility of ill feeling arising, he should take it from him. However, he shouldn't derive any benefit from it until he finds out that the Gentile does not acknowledge or worship idols. Some commentators attack Maimonides for his perceived liberalism. Surely, if there's a risk that the gift is from an idolater, it should be cast away into a pit. There's an absolute prohibition on deriving any benefit from idolatrous objects. Rabbi Elijah of Vilna, the Vilna Gaon, defends Maimonides. He says, if you have no reason to suspect that the donor is a God-denying pagan, then we should assume the best. From the Jewish sources, we see two significant ideas here. The first is the occasional need for appropriate compromise, where ill will and misunderstandings between people might otherwise ensue. And the second is the recognition that not every faith or culture that differs from our own is to be dismissed or worse reviled. Not every Gentile is an idolater. While we shouldn't give or receive Christmas presents, how rude it would be to turn our back on the greetings of goodwill we are extended, or to take umbrage at the insensitivity that someone else doesn't understand our ways. On the contrary, goodwill and warm tidings, blessings of peace, should be warmly reciprocated. To all those people who have championed the Bible's teaching that we should love our neighbour as ourselves, we extend to our neighbours our good wishes. May God guide you and encourage you to live by and teach his kindness.